Okay, hello everybody and welcome to Realtors Winning. We are live and I am thrilled to introduce you to Daniel Dixon. So CJ Fumasano and I are going to interview with Daniel. I'll tell you just a quick little bio before we get started. So Daniel, you've been in real estate for about 6 years, correct? And you're CEO and owner of the Dixon Group in Denver, Colorado. And I met Daniel because we are together on the Keller Williams National Social Equity Task Force. So I got the pleasure of meeting you. And then I listened to a couple of podcasts about you. And boy, your story is incredible. From single agent to where you are today in 6 short years. I am absolutely amazed, gobsmacked, and I'd love to hear all about your empire building.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited to do this and share information. A lot of the culture that we've created here and how we just love on agents is just really being able to share information. It's one of the reasons I've stayed with KW for so long is just information sharing, leading from a place of value and just, share knowledge. So I'm excited.
I love that. So Daniel, I'm just meeting you today for the first time. And right before you jumped on, Amanda was talking about everything that you do in the empire that you're building. Frankly, number one, I'm jealous. Number two, I'm curious. So you've been in real estate for how many years?
About 6 years.
And so obviously you started at zero. And then where would you guys end up production wise at the end of this year?
We'll be at about 110 to 115 million, about 380 transactions.
Wow. So you did that in 6 years?
Yeah. It's really been the first couple of years was me being more of a solo agent, 30, 40 units a year. And we really put a lot of pressure on growing our group over probably about the last 3 years.
So tell me what was that like? Because I'm so curious. Because a lot of us start as a solo agent. We do 5, then 20, then 30, then 40, then maybe you get to 50. Then at some point you go, okay, well, I need some help. I need some leverage. So like, what did you do? How did you do that?
Well, one of my my background, I used to work at Trulia before they were bought by Zillow. So we're heavy in internet lead generation. I used to teach agents and coach agents all across the country on how to market, how to spend their money, where to spend their money, how to convert leads, how to put these people in different buckets, how to follow up effectively, all of those things. And one of my mentors when I first got into business was telling me, Daniel, you can only go as far as you can go, right? We all have 24 hours in a day. The real value is being able to teach others how to do what you do. And as soon as you can master how to teach others to do what you do, that is how we have the ability to scale and grow. And so that really clicked with me, where it's not so much just about me. My mindset really started to shift on, I've got to be able to effectively communicate and grow people if I want to build this big empire, because I have 3 young kids, I have a wife, I have friends, and I mean, everyone hits that ceiling of
you only have so much attention you can give to people in a day.
Yeah, and it's like
I know the feeling. Yeah.
And even just diving deep with your clients, like you can only have a couple of clients at a time where you're diving deep and care about their kids' names and their dogs' names and what they're doing and how they're doing. And if I can teach a bunch of other people how to do this, then our opportunities are endless.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. So you guys really hammered down internet lead generation. So what are you guys doing for internet lead generation?
We advertise in all the major portals, Zillow, Realtor, Homes.com. We do our own pay-per-click stuff. We have Boomtown lead generation. That's our CRM that we use. Craigslist, sign calls. I mean, we have probably 10 or 11 different levers of lead generation that we focus on and that we do well. And prospecting. So we built this business on literally just contacting people. This is a contact sport. Talk to as many people as you can and finding the people who are most motivated in this crazy pandemic that we're in right now. And, just getting with the people who want to buy and sell real estate and not just being a realtor, right? A lot of people want to wear that badge. I'm a realtor. Like, no, I want to work with people that want to buy and sell houses and show them how to build wealth and, create some stability in their life.
I love that. Someone just asked, how much do you spend on leads per month?
Oh, we're in excess of 30 grand a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us about your team. What does it look like?
So I have a mortgage arm and then I have a real estate group as well. And little did I know, so my background back in 2008, my first big boy job was being a loan officer. I used to work for a company called Lending Tree Loans in California. And through doing that, I used to originate loans all over the country. So I always had a mortgage background. As I got into Trulia, I started doing all of this stuff. I'm like, okay, well, now I'm going to be a real estate agent and sell houses. And so as we started growing the real estate team, right now we have 18 real estate agents. I have a director of sales, a director of operations. Our entire transaction coordinating team is out of the Philippines. So we run a full VATC business that my DOO runs. She's amazing. 18 real estate agents, 2 ISAs, and then the mortgage side, we have 3 loan officers, two loan officer assistants, dedicated processor, dedicated underwriters, and we really want to be a one-stop shop for most clients and have more control over the process.
Wow.
And your mortgage arm is pretty recent, isn't it, Daniel? 2009.
Yeah. So when you're building a team and you do a lot of business, you put a lot of pressure on the lending partners that you have, right? Delivering good service, returning phone calls, getting to closing on time, not having these crazy things happen during a transaction. So through failures, constant failures of loan officers not doing what they need to do, or my agents needing to get somebody on the phone to pull credit at 7:30 at night and no one's there to do it, I said, you know what, let's just go build our own thing. So I got licensed in April of last year, and we just started building. I took one of my ISAs, who's my director of sales on the mortgage side, and I was like, hey, let's go build something. She knew nothing about it. And
Wow.
So this last year and a half has been a whirlwind. My expectation, what I thought on the mortgage side, is different than when you're actually in it. It's crazy. But we were able to, when you're doing a lot of internet lead generation, when these people want to talk to a lender, we've got to talk now. We can't set a follow-up, because then we're playing phone tag. So we've implemented a full warm transfer process, and now I have my hand on the group. So I can only yell at a lender so much for not being available or screwing this up on income calculation or whatever. Now these are my employees, so I have more control on making sure that we always have availability for our real estate agents, because we have, we pay this money for internet lead generation. We have this software we use to be on the phone with the client within 30 seconds of the lead actually inquiring. And from there, we're on a warm transfer with the lender to get them pre-approved. I mean, you have click of a button to pre-approval in hand sometimes in less than an hour. And that's unheard of in this industry.
Wow. That's awesome. You guys, I'm so sorry. And we talked about this before.
Yeah.
I'm literally have to go teach a business planning clinic like right now, but I just want to jump on and meet Daniel, because Amanda had amazing things to say about him. And I really wish I could stay, but I'm for sure going to come back and watch this recording later.
Yeah, you need to go to business planning.
Yeah. Thank you. Good meeting you, Daniel. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.
So Daniel, let's keep going. I met you obviously through the KW National Social Equity Task Force. And so we got together because we have our vision together to collaborate with, leaders in our industry, right? To be a voice and recommendations on how to deal with racial disparity within our company, within our industry, and how we can lead the way. So you're a passionate mentor. You're a visionary. Tell me, as a leader in this industry, what are you looking forward to in the fourth quarter with what Keller Williams is putting into place, and how will that be effective in your business?
So, I mean, I think the most important piece to all of this is we're having the conversation. I mean, when Colin Kaepernick kneeled a few years ago and everyone was up in arms and it was such a big deal, and he's not a patriot and he's a terrible person and all of these things, all he was trying to do was bring awareness and create a conversation to the social injustice that us minorities feel in the world that we live in. And specifically being in this business, this is not a minority driven business.
Nope.
So it's interesting, as I've continued to grow, I have great mentors. I have a fantastic coach that's helped me build this business that I currently have. But when I go to these seminars and I watch these people on stage and I get these tips and tricks these people are teaching, no one looks like me. And so I'm so motivated by the fact that this means a lot to Gary, and this means a lot to a lot of people across the country right now. But we're actually facilitating the conversation. And at the end of the day, if we can get a seat at the table to talk about what's going on, then now over time we can hopefully continue to keep talking about it, and then instill change and continue to get that growth from the Black community, from minorities in general. So I'm very hopeful for that. With this, it brought awareness to our group, where we do now, a lot of our vendors are Black-owned vendors. And so we're focusing on that and pushing that, Black-owned small businesses. We just started 2 charities. We're starting 2 charities right now. One for getting more Blacks into real estate. So we're going to cover education costs, licensing costs, different things like that to get more minorities into this business. And it's something that's always been really close to me, close to my heart. I grew up with a single mother of 3 kids, and we were always robbing from Peter to pay Paul as I was growing up. We've had to get handouts from the shelter growing up. We've dealt with food stamps and all of this stuff. Some of my most fondest memories are just being close. My family's very, very close, but we never really had money. And so one thing that would have always helped us is a month of expenses covered. So the charity I'm most excited about is we're donating money to single parent minority households to cover a month of their housing expenses, to give them that lifeline, to allow them to catch up, to allow them to not have to work so hard. My mom worked her butt off to try to be there, to be at all my sporting events, to provide for my family. And if we had just a little bit more help, a little bit more of a lifeline, it would have allowed her to really, I think, enjoy the moments and not have to just always be on overdrive.
Yeah, you strike me as one of these people that you just want to provide opportunities for everyone around you. I see that in your team. I definitely see it with the people that I've met through your team. I think you're passionate, aren't you, about fulfilling dreams, wealth building, and becoming contributors, for everyone to do good in this world. So what's next for Daniel Dixon? What are we going to look forward to in the next, let's say, 1 to 5 years?
Yeah. So Zig Ziglar said my first job I had was I was selling timeshares. And so I got introduced to Zig Ziglar when I was like 18 years old. And Zig Ziglar says, if you can help enough other people get what they want, naturally you're going to get what you want. And that's really something that stays true to my heart. I could make more money and sell more houses being a solo agent with a small team and run ragged and sell 100 houses a year and be a millionaire. But I'm understanding more that I'm getting older, that my fulfillment is more in leading through other people, watching other people's successes, teaching them, having them fail, and then coaching them up on why they failed and how they can get better next time. And it's so cool because we're so new in this journey of building a big mega team that we haven't had that whole that cycle through yet. We haven't had our buyers actually mature to where they're getting ready to sell yet, and see when my agents go on trips they've never gone on before and buy their first house and have a big tax bill for that matter because they're making money. Like those are the things that really get me going and that keep me motivated. So over the next 5 years, we just want to take over the world, to be honest.
Wow, you're an empire builder.
It's the reason that we are where we are today is not because of me. It's because of my support staff. It's because the people that I trust and that lead this organization, they have my full trust. They have my full commitment. They have my full backing to go build what they want to build. My director of operations vision is much bigger than mine ever was. My director of sales vision and what she wants to build is much bigger than mine ever was. And so my role now in helping drive this is I'm not the actual driver, but I'm the support person helping them achieve their goals and what they want to build for our organization, and giving people that autonomy and giving them that blank slate to go build what they want to build. I think it's a testament to our culture. It's a testament to why we have some incredible leaders within us. And you can't micromanage people. You gotta let people go. You gotta let go a little bit, which was terrifying to do. This is my baby that I've built, and be with people that that you trust, that you love, giving them the autonomy to go build something great. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Amen. You said it all. And on your journey, I've also, in listening to you and getting more information about you, I've learned that you've also encouraged your family to join into the business. So I believe at the beginning, are you still working with family members that you have also given opportunities to grow with you?
Yeah. So we kind of stumbled on it as we started leveraging out. My first hire, I guess you could call it, is was my cousin. My brother and I both worked at Zillow, or at Trulia before they were bought by Zillow. And so we both got into this at the same time. And then my cousin was driving Uber, showing houses for me, my transaction coordinator. He's basically like my little brother. So we all kind of started this together. My mom was my assistant growing up in this industry. And then my director of operations she's my cousin, but she's basically my little sister as well.
Oh, so I love that.
The first 2 years was a challenge, right? But one thing I don't have to ever worry about with them is their loyalty. And I know they're always working hard to grow our company. And that, I think, is such an important piece to having all of this, right? This isn't about me. It's not about us. It's about helping people get what they want. And if we can help more people get what they want, then our organization is going to continue to grow, and our charities will flourish, and our clients will be happy, and everything will be great. So working with family is not something I would recommend for everybody, right? There's some pain points that we dealt with, some growing pains that we dealt with, but a lot of that is behind us now. And now we're always on the same page for the most part, and that's invaluable.
And Daniel, you said you have 3 children. Are they of working age yet? Are they going to be getting into the business, do you think? Any future Daniel Dixons?
Yep. So I have a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And the 9 and 7, they'll come into work. They used to help me put up signs. They would show up at my open houses when I was actually producing. They'll come and make flyers. So yeah, they laugh about the 2 oldest ones being the leaders and taking over this company in the future. So they're all in.
I love it. I have 4 sons, and 2 of them are in real estate with me, and it's just so gratifying, because you really want your kids to do what you love, and when we're building these empires for them, we want to give them that opportunity. So I've got 2 more questions. So 1, because Trulia and Zillow, we love, we hate them. Tell me what you think in the future Zillow is going to do or be, and what's your recommendations?
So I think Zillow opening a brokerage is actually more beneficial to agents than agents recognize. They were trying to cut us out with this whole iBuyer stuff. So the fact that they realized that we need to have somebody there that is an advocate for a client, I think is important, because now we know that this isn't going to go all into computers, and agents are going to get completely phased out. People are going to be buying and selling houses online. Like, you're going to have some people that do that, but that's not going to be the majority of our world. So I really don't think it's bad. I welcome competition. It creates innovation. And at the end of the day, like, there's so many units to get. Right. Like we have 50,000 homes sold in Denver about every year, and my team's going to sell about 380 this year. I'm not worried about Zillow really at all.
There's plenty of fish in the sea, right? Everybody wants to buy or sell a house, pretty much.
Absolutely. And so I'm not concerned about that at all. We leverage Zillow and use Zillow in a lot of ways. We won a lot of business because of Zillow reviews. We have a lot of people online clicking buttons because they want to go look at a house from Zillow, from some of these other portals. So at the end of the day, scared money doesn't make money. So don't be scared. Just refine your craft and go get busy.
I love that. And I totally agree with you. I think if you're building a good profile and you're asking for reviews, and you're, every time you sell a house, you're plotting it and you're making sure that it's on the Zillow site, it can't not do you good, because at the end of the day, 92% of people are going to check Zillow. That's where they're going. So we might as well be there and show up on it. So my final question for you, because Daniel, I've loved getting to know you, and I know everybody listening to this has too. Is there anything that overwhelms you? I just have to ask you that question.
Everything overwhelms me.
Oh, tell me more.
Running a big business, you can't anticipate the problems that you're going to have, and you got to deal with them at that time. I think the mortgage piece has been overwhelming. Agents coming and going is overwhelming. Agent success is overwhelming, and helping them. It's hard to run a pipeline of 8, 9, 10 under contracts. So I'm a Cancer. Right. So I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm very empathetic to people. So I feel other people's pain and frustrations probably far too often. Overwhelming is a relative term. I always feel I'm never going to be the guy that wakes up late, sleeps in and retires early. Like that's not me, right? I'm always going to be pushing for the next thing. So I feel like I'm always going to be overwhelmed in a sense. And that, I mean, I feel like I'm living at that point. I feel like I'm always making progress, always improving. And it's just everything, right? It's a client trying to sue you for something. It's not closing a loan on time. It's a buyer firing one of our agents. Like there's always going to be something that's going to create stress. I think the better question is, how do you deal with stress? If you want to have a big business, you've got to be able to manage stress, deal with stress, and not allow it to affect your life. I have a funny story I'll tell, which kind of was a turning point with me with stress.
Yeah.
I had a deal that was blowing up because the lender did something. They did something wrong. Weren't closing on time. They had movers set up, that whole thing. And I'm on my phone in my car. I'm driving home and I'm going back and forth with the lender and the client. And I'm super angry. And my son was 2 years old at the time. And so I came in the house and I'm just in a bad mood. And he comes to try to talk to him. I'm like, just get away from me right now. And at that moment I went, no, this isn't going to be it. Like this industry is not going to control my son, who's so excited and hasn't seen me all day, me yelling at him to get out of my face because I'm busy right now dealing with problems that aren't even really my problems. And so at that moment, I made a conscious effort to, you know what, I'm going to end phone calls before I walk in the house. And I'm going to give my children that moment of excitement that they feel of running to the door and seeing that daddy's home. Now, Fortnite's kind of changed that nowadays and these damn electronics. But, over the last few years, this has been an important piece for me of ending the phone call before I walk in, giving my kids that focused attention, loving on them. And then if I have more work to do, then I'll step out and go do that work. But that was a big moment about stress that for me, it wasn't this industry, this business, money is not more important than my kids' happiness.
I love that. It is so true. Well, I loved getting to know you, and thank you for all your nuggets. And everybody listening in, you know how to reach Daniel. He's in Denver. You've got the Daniel Dixon Group. I still can't believe you've only had it for 6 years because it's incredible what you're doing. And what's your mortgage arm called, Daniel?
It's Franklin Loan Center.
Franklin Loan Center. So thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you for your time. I will see you on the KW National Social Equity call that we have next. And everyone go slay the day. Have a great day.
Thank you, Amanda. Bye, guys.
Bye. There you go.